Yo, camper friends and pen friends and friends. Happy Tuesday. Gonna be a not so quick update on all things camp, all things pen friends. We'll cover camp stuff first. So if you really only care about camp, you only have to watch the first 6 hours of this video. Couple things that have gone on recently. We updated the customization feature to include skin tone swapping and name swapping, and also a few more logo options. Gender still a work in progress. The item store is available, has been for a few days. That seems to be working great. The item store will remain open throughout the game, and the only times you won't be able to purchase items are either because your camper is dead or because you've already used all 5 item slots. You can use each slot once. You may have seen our other announcements that the item slots, sort of the status of the item slots, is available to see either in your Phantom wallet or if you are purchasing on Magic Eden or elsewhere. Through the details there, you can see item slot status, which is quite handy. Couple questions have gone on about people being worried that they might buy a dead camper as the game progresses. Don't worry, it will be visually obvious if a camper is dead rather than alive. So don't worry about that. That won't be a thing unless you're completely asleep at the wheel, which is very possible. I know that life. One mechanic that we have not mentioned up to this point, but I do want to talk about, is kill of the day. Something that we've been a little bit worried about is that the outcome system and finding out what happened, it's all bad news, right? Like, either your camper died, that's bad, or your camper burned an item to stay alive, which is also kind of bad. Like, you knew you had the item, you knew your camper was safe, but it's bad news that it had to be used. So we were wary that we don't want it to be that you're always looking out for bad news only. There needed to be some good news. And so we've come up with this idea of kill of the day and escape of the day. And the way that kill of the day works is that if your camper is killed, and in most cases when your camper is killed, your camper is eligible to become the kill of the day. The kill of the day will be animated, and that animation will be added to your NFT. Your NFT will be updated with that animation, and you will win a prize. And there will be one of those each day. A prize might be an NFT, might be a pen friend. In a lot of cases will be a pen friend. We have a few of those earmarked for this competition, which is a pretty sweet prize. I mean, maybe we're a little biased, but it might be an NFT, it might be a bit of soul. We'll see, but there are prizes that are out there for kill a day. So if you find that your camper has been killed, which is bad news, there is the possibility of being the kill of the day, which means not only will your NFT become a little bit cooler, but also you will receive a prize, which could be something pretty awesome, like a pen friend. So I think that's kind of worth thinking about as you go forward. It's not all news is necessarily bad within the outcome system. In a perfect world, we would have every single outcome animated, all the escapes, all the murders animated, and have them update to your NFT as we go in real time. And that's where we want to be long term. That's the point at which we want to be, where this is an evolving story, and as anything happens to your NFT, your NFT itself changes and is updated and has added onto it. And we're in a situation where every single way that you could be killed and every single way that you could escape, and there are hundreds of them, that they also have an accompanying animation. Like, that's our dream. We're not there. And so what we're doing right now is animating 1 kill per day, 1 escape per day, And once camp is done, then we will look at going back and adding animations of everything that your camper went through. So if your camper had 5 items and eventually was killed by Fuddrugger, RIP, you will have a representative animation of each of those escapes and the murder in the end. So you'll be adding like 6 beats to your camper story, which is pretty cool. And then, as you know, we're gonna go from there. That's not the end. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that we're like, if we have 1,000 outcomes in a day, we are not also pushing out 1,000 animations in a day. It's just not practical at this time. We're gonna we don't want to delay anything. We want to streamline things, have things be exciting, and then at the end we will go back and sort of I'm not sure what the right word is, not reconstruct, but add to the NFT and sort of recap the highlights of what went down and an update at that time. So some of it will happen in real time, and that will be for the ones that are lucky enough to be selected as kill of the day, escape of the day. And for the rest of you, for the rest of the outcomes rather, those will be updated at a later date. So that's the plan right now, and we're excited about that. The game is coming up. We're not going to give you lots of warning on that. Before, we were going to say we're going to close customization. We'll give you a bit of warning about closing customization, and then we're going to start rendering animation. We're just starting with rendering animation because we've decided not to close customization. And that way, when your NFT will automatically update to the animated version when rendering is complete. When rendering is complete, and we've also sent the updates. So that will happen when we choose, but it will not be far from now, not by any means. And once that happens, you are still able, if you want to make changes through the customizer, and that, like, your camper will automatically re-enter the animation queue at that time. So you won't lose the animated version of your camper by making changes. You'll just send it back into the lineup to be animated once again with whatever changes you've decided on. So that's kind of the process there. We've given you as much flexibility as possible to make changes for longer and basically perpetually. And that means even that if you, let's say you have sort of a team look, and you find 10 days into the game your team has all died, sadly, you could, in theory, purchase another camper on secondary, and you could customize them into your team look. Although at that point you probably have to consider a different team look, given how it's gone so far. That there might be a better superstition wise, it might be time for a change. But you would have that flexibility still, as if it was new, as if it was before the game. That flexibility still exists to change it to the name of your team, or the name that matches your username, or whatever the case may be, and also the look. Just to have that flexibility is better. That's more fun. You don't want to be like, oh, it's too late, that closed a week ago. That sucked. That plan wasn't great, and we decided to discard it because this one's better. So anyways, that's the case there. Customization will continue. Item store availability continues, obviously, until you're dead or run out of slots. And if there's, at the time of recording here, there's a couple hundred that are not yet minted. If that happens, if the game begins and there are unminted campers, they're not part of the game until they're minted, which means they can't die. So that could be an interesting dynamic as well. Is that they're sort of protected, and they come with items. They come with 2 to 5 items each. So not only are they preloaded, and if they come with 2, you can still buy 3 more if you really wanted to. But those campers are immune to attack right now because they technically haven't arrived at camp. So if that continues and they stay out there, we're not going to close the mint before we start, because why? There's no real reason. We can start the game with them still out there, and they will be an option to you in terms of replenishing your ranks as campers die. There's going to be a period of time each day where campers are safe to be traded and to be equipped, and that will be the majority of the day. That'll probably be 18 hours of every day. It'll be safe to do those things. The time when Fuddrugger is actively killing campers is not a good time to trade. Don't do it. It's not even a good time to list, because if you list, you're more likely to be targeted. So we suggest that you list in the off hours, that you trade in the off hours, that you equip in the off hours, and when Fuddrugger is active, that you don't do those things, because it'd be very frustrating, especially later, to pay a premium for a camper only to have them die 42 seconds later. You know what I mean? So try and work outside of that active time in terms of doing your trading and your equipping and things like, and also your moving around the map. Moving around the map will not be available during the active hours. Purchasing and equipping items will not be available when the killer is active, but trading, we can't turn that off and on. So that's going to be up to you to not do the thing where you're buying campers at a time when campers are being killed, because there are no guarantees, and that could come back to bite you big time. It doesn't matter so much when the campers are 0.33. It matters a lot 10 days in, when we could see some pretty high prices for campers that are still alive. So anyways, I'm gonna repeat that a bunch of times, like ad nauseum, because I don't want people upset that they wound up buying a camper during an active kill time and got to hold that camper as a living player for under 10 minutes or anything like that. Let's avoid that at all costs. So yeah, the game itself is going to start basically without warning. It's going to come before the end of the month. Might be quite a bit sooner than that. And it's just going to go. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We are preparing in case Twitter shuts us down. We have to. We all saw what happened with Utes and D-Gods, and sort of the situation there on Twitter where the bot basically got all of the accounts suspended. And we're going to be delivering a number of outcomes, and we have to prepare that that's possible for us, that we could be in a situation where Twitter account gets suspended, and then what? So we've got some backup plans in place. The outcomes will be broadcast on Twitter, but also in a Discord channel on this server, and also will be available through our camper dashboard, which is not live yet, but which is coming. And that's where you can check on. It's really an extension of the items and the customization, where you can check on the status of your campers at any time and know who's dead, who's alive, who's got what, in terms of item slots and all that kind of stuff. So really there's 3 ways, and if we lose the Twitter one, which I hope we don't, but if we do lose it, there's still 2 ways for you to find out what's going on, and to follow along and chirp your friends when their campers die. That's a hugely important part of this entire process. Other than that, I think that's probably it with camp right now. Game coming soon. I told you a bit about the prizes, customization we talked about, items we talked about. I think that's about it. There's a couple things that you could do if you are interested in. Like, this is mostly an entertainment thing. If you're interested in trying to make some money on it, and you're looking to flip sort of part way through the game, that's fine. I think it would be in your best interest, and really in everyone's best interest, to rep camp in your PFP. This game's is only going to go on for a limited time, so it's not like you need to change your PFP forever. Doesn't need to be suddenly your long-term main PFP is Camp Solana, but it would make a lot of sense to switch it temporarily while camp is ongoing to your camper. Also rep the camp emoji in your Twitter handle, all these types of things. As much as you think they might just help the project, they help you as well if you are looking to gain some value out of your holdings and maybe sell a couple. The more awareness there is on Twitter of what we're doing and what the game is, and creating that FOMO of people who aren't in wanting to come in, the more opportunities you're going to get to make a couple bucks if you want to flip a camper or two. And repping is a big part of that. We're in the midst of setting up NFT Inspect. We'll get that going, then we can get some camper representation out there and some camp emoji, and we do have a pretty high holder count, so if we get some reasonable uptake, we're gonna make our presence known on Twitter, which is very cool. And I think what we're doing here is pretty awesome, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that end up disappointed that they slept on it, and I hope that we kind of rub that in their face a bit, because they had a chance, they had ample opportunity, and they blew it. They fucked it up. So yeah, that's about it on the Camp Solana front. On Pen Friends, just a couple things to add, things that are ongoing, things that are coming up. We're working our way through the Trippin' Apes. We're working on 3 videos for them, also the entire collection, animating away on that front. We are just about completed ABC. There's a couple things that we want to shore up, make better. We're just not quite satisfied with them. We want to make them better. And we're also working on the OK Bears collection animation at the same time. On the ABC side, that will be the first one that we offer through our token gated marketplace. The marketplace is built. That was done by our friends at Icons, and it is entirely functional. It's ugly right now, and we just need to skin it to our purpose, and that'll be done in the next couple of days. And then we'll have this sort of this token gated marketplace, which is honestly the key to everything that we're going to do from here on in. We will still do animations for entire collections where they pay, and it functions as an update to the actual NFT. But for any other collection where we are offering it as a service, this token gated marketplace is the key to that. Makes it easy, makes it simple, makes it efficient, and makes it instant, and it's also going to be very, very affordable. So for example, ABC, you'll log into our marketplace. It's going to check your wallet and see which ABCs you hold, and then it will make the animated versions of those available to you, and the cost is only 0.2, which is dirt cheap. So compare that to 4 or 5 Sol to commission an animation, and you can't compare it. So it's very affordable, it's instant, there's no wait time, you get multiple formats, and we think the uptake there will be very high, and then you just have it, and that's it. And then while you're there, over time we're just going to add collection after collection after collection, and you may come to our new site, and you might find yourself surprised that there's 5 collections there that we've animated, and you hold one of all of them, or multiple of all of them, and you can just have a bit of a shopping experience there, grabbing animated versions of your favorite projects. So that marketplace is key for everything we're doing moving forward. We're going to use it for ABC. Like I said, we're going to use it for OKB. And after that, we're going to use it for any other projects that we want to, including ETH. So that'll be a big part of what we do moving forward is start to branch out to ETH primarily, maybe some others. But that's currently what's on our radar in terms of PenFriends, the marketplace, and obviously continuing to do video work and direct collection work. But also as part of what's happened with Camp Solana is we've got projects wanting to do customization now. Multiple projects coming at us asking us to quote them on providing customization, and also the item store has a lot of potential benefit to other projects because it works. It's clean. It's a nice interface, and all that stuff works. So just the same way that we took the tech that we developed for PenFriends, the animated collection, the same way we took that and monetized that is the same way we'll do with the item shop and with the customizer. So we just kind of keep adding to the arsenal a bit here. Now we've got the marketplace coming, which is a better way to deliver the animation where we do not require the participation of another project. We do not require the payment from another project. That we can do this with a project's blessing, but not necessarily with their soul. So anyways, it's an exciting time in the world of PenFriends, and I think that these next 2 months are going to be the best ones we've had. In terms of camp, camp was not the mint success, that you would hope for in a perfect world. So it has not been and won't be, I don't think, the financial success that it could have been, but that's okay. We didn't really do it for that reason. We did it because we wanted to have a reason to develop these tools, and also we started at a time where we didn't know we had clients, and we thought we better be our own client. We better make work for ourselves and give ourselves an opportunity. And then as it turned out, we have a lot of clients and a lot of work, and that's sort of complicated the process because it spreads us out a little bit. But it's been great. It's been crazy. It's been great. I think we're going to finish September having animated 40,000 PFPs this month. And I think that the return on that in terms of people in ABC and OKB buying animated versions, that's not all going to play out in the first week. Some of that will take place over time. So those things, they don't function in the same way the collections do, where the collections are like, we finish them, we get paid, we can distribute. Those ones are more like annuities to some extent, where they're available, and over time people will opt into them, but it's not the sort of one-time or two-time payment setup. So in terms of the rev share, it might be a little more spread out, but the idea of having 25-30 projects available on our website as a marketplace where the work for us is done and we're just adding 2 or 3 a month to it is pretty exciting, because you end up amassing this library, and as long as that you've never sold all 10,000 of the ABCs, there's still more buyers out there, and as they change hands, the next buyer might be the one that opts into it if the previous one didn't. So anyways, exciting times on the PenFriends front. We're having a lot of fun with Camp Solana, and we can't wait for what's to come. This might be the longest one ever. I'm so sorry. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and as always, PenFriends for life.